This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
That's number one. You kind of reset me.
Painful, tender to the touch. May also
Same shoulder length and the other.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast with Brandy and Amir. This is Brandy, I'm Amir. It's backwards.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Brandy and Amir. And Real Health Podcast is where we bring to you all the latest information about health and wellness and what's on the news recently. And we got a ton because we missed last week. We'll tell you why in a second. But our hope is that the information we bring to you from mainstream media, we can help digest for you and explain to you and tell you how you can use it in your life so that you can use that to become healthier, to feel better, get stronger, live longer, and feel younger. Real Health Podcast is brought to you by the Frederick Podcast Network. It is found on listenfrederick.com along with YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, and everywhere else you like to see your podcast.
Or hear your podcast. Some people don't like to see it.
Well, that's true. You can just listen. which is fine with me. I did get a haircut just for you guys today. But the other thing I always need to mention is that I am a chiropractor and Brandy is not, yet we just care about you. And so the information we're giving you comes from that perspective, is we want to make sure you get healthy in a drugless, non-surgical way as much as possible, and those things should be last resort. So that's where we're at, and that's where we're starting. And if this is the first time you're joining us, welcome. We missed you last week because one of us wasn't feeling well.
It wasn't me.
Not me either. That only leaves Sean.
He's better.
And so he's recovered fully. He's a champ because he's back in the saddle. And he's doing great. So we're glad he's back, and we're glad to be back with you. We did take the week off. It was nice to just take the week off, although we missed going over stuff. Now we have extra articles to go
But we're
over.
not doing double the podcast today. It'll still be the same. We're just going to try to get as much in as possible.
Yes, ma'am.
So.
Whatever you say, dear.
He's practicing. I don't know for what, but I kind of like it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, I want to say what everyone is talking about, but here's what I realize when it comes to news and media is that you're only getting the information that you usually stop and spend time looking at, right? And so we get a lot of big health news because that's on our feeds all the time. But the reality is a lot of people do not get this stuff. There's a lot of people who don't know. Some people don't watch news at all. I don't blame you. It's a lot of crap. It's a lot of negativity. So I get that. We went through a season where we didn't watch news at all. We were like, we're not putting that into our brain. But we also came to a realization that there were important things going on around the world and in our backyard that we needed to be privy to, because we needed to be able to give our thoughts and opinions to our patients when they were asking, or to be able to guide our family and friends properly, and to be able to kind of get through all the misinformation, because there's a lot of things that they'll put out and it'll be really big news. But is it? Like, I look at the big one right now is the Hantavirus, right? And so this is everywhere in the news. If you're not getting it, sorry to be the one to tell you, but so there's a cruise ship that has had several deaths. I think there are up to 7 or 8 people maybe it's 9 that have been actually impacted by the Hantavirus. This is the Andes strain of the Hantavirus, which originally the Hantavirus was only supposed to be spread amongst rodents and was not supposed to impact humans. Now it impacts humans. And so this is a different strain and one that can be passed from human to human. And so,
but you only get it by playing with rodent feces.
So apparently. I would say don't do that.
Yeah. And why are there rodents on a cruise ship? This is where it gets controversial.
Well, I don't know if we'll ever fully know. What I heard most recently this morning is that who they're classifying as patient 0, him and his wife were actually like avid bird watchers. So I haven't had a chance to process through and figure out if this was, how much of this is accurately reported on. but it was said that they had been going around to all these various places looking, for rare birds. And there's one in particular that they were looking for that they were able to see. But the only place you can find it, they're like near this this dump, and it's one of the worst places in the world, I guess. And
Yeah, I like to look at
laden with-
those birds on TV or something.
Same. I don't want to do that. But anyway, this particular hantavirus outbreak has taken place, extremely deadly, they say. But then I've also
Yeah, it
heard
was
reports of
something
them
like
letting people off the ship.
33% more or 36% mortality rate,
Yeah.
which is extremely high.
Yeah. So,
Do you know what Ebola's mortality rate was?
uh-uh.
It was 50%.
Oh, wow. So this is pretty close.
Yeah, it's like half the people who got it were passing away. Of course, like 0 people in modern world in the last outbreak died from it just because they have better health care.
Right.
So it all depends on where that person is and what they're exposed
and
to.
I think we know that when it comes to the human body. Why is it one person can get sick from the flu and
Yeah.
somebody else doesn't? I can't tell you the last time I had the flu.
It's kind of like 5 people get punched by Mike Tyson, only 2 of them die.
Right.
You're like, his punch is only lethal 40% of the time. No, not really. It depends on the person he's punching.
Right.
I would be one of the 2.
Yeah, I probably would too. So, I go, is this scary? I'm not sure. I think there's so few people affected by it. I always ask, why are you making this so big? Like at the same time, there's another outbreak on another cruise ship coming into Florida that was supposed to be returning to Florida or coming into Florida. And that has a 115 person outbreak of norovirus. So 115 people impacted. It's a lot more than 9, but nobody heard about that until just like yesterday. It was like not reported on at all. Yes, and the norovirus is not nearly as scary. There's very low risk of mortality with it. And yeah, I almost said immortality. That's really funny. That too. Very low risk.
That's coming. There will be a virus soon that will keep you from dying. Keep you alive on this planet forever.
I have a feeling it'll have something to do with robotics. We'll see. Maybe
Did you
Elon will
see?
have-
So this is off topic, but they're these robots that will clean your house, and it's AI, so they can learn and they talk to you. But apparently, the only thing they can do on their own is open doors and one other thing. The rest of it, there's a guy with a VR headset at the headquarters that's watching you from through the robot and doing things like they say it folds your laundry, cleans your house, vacuums, does dishes, all that stuff. But all those complex actions are actually someone with a VR set doing it, and the robot is mimicking them and doing it in your home, which is invasion of privacy all the way. Don't buy the robot yet.
That's
Wait.
weird.
Oh yeah. Dr. Michael sent me the video.
Yeah, can you imagine you wake up in the middle of the night and you find the robot in your child's room, like petting their head or something? No,
They're
thank you.
covered in very soft cloth.
No, thank you.
Yeah, they're like huggable apparently. They look kind of cute. There's no nose or mouth, just eyes and a head.
That's creepy.
No, they look like a
Robot.
stuffed animal. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like a voodoo doll. That's what they look like. They look like those old voodoo dolls.
I'd say be careful with that.
Anyways, yeah. So look for that. That's not health related, but it is invasion of privacy, where someone's watching your moves and looking through your house.
I did see a video of some people in a factory, and they all had the cameras on their head, and it was filming, like watching every single motion and thing that they did. I think it was something in sewing or whatnot.
Wow.
So careful, because some of you guys are training your replacements.
And here we are thinking AI is going to take away all the jobs. It just created a bunch of jobs. Now you got all these like robot handlers.
Right. But that will go away.
What do you do
It
for a
learns
living?
fast.
I handle robots. They call me. They say they need the dishes done. I do their dishes from here in Singapore. and I wash someone's dishes in Washington, D.C. How cool
weird.
is that? I'm a dishwasher.
So weird.
They got the other guy that folds clothes, another one that does laundry.
Mm.
Apparently, you have to like call, like you would tell the robot calls them, and then tell it how to do everything.
Seems like a big, long process.
No, thank you.
I don't think
I'll
so.
do my own laundry. So Hantavirus, what do we need to know about the Hantavirus?
Stay away from rodent urine, droppings, saliva. There could be in dust particles that are contaminated, stirred through the air. I don't know what to tell people. How about we talk to people here in a minute about boosting their own immunity? Why don't we focus on that? Because I don't know what to tell you with some of these viruses. There's not going to be any one thing that you can take that's going to be it's going to help protect you. It's about layering great things and removing some things from your life that are putting a toxic load on your body. I think we just need to talk about what are the things we should be doing every day. Like we have one article that's talking about getting away from the viruses, but talking about like ultra processed food and brain health. And I go, people it gives you brain fog and like all of these symptoms. And I go, which could be from a vast number of things that we're encountering, right? With all the endocrine system disruptors, all the carcinogenics that we put on our body, put in our body. Like one report after another is coming out about how horrible these high-end foods, organic foods, we have cell cultured meat, we have it's absolutely disturbing. I'm struggling with what to put on the table right now. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like I just want to shop at local farms. I don't even want to go to the grocery store anymore because I don't trust anything that's in there. So, and I'm not saying I'm living in fear. I'm living in frustration sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
we
frustrated.
heard something disturbing about our favorite chicken place.
Which one?
The one. Chicken place.
Yeah.
It's like disappointing. I go, well, now where do we go?
Yeah. It's just it's frustrating that I can go to the grocery store and spend $600 and know I'm walking out with nothing but poison potentially.
Yeah.
And we're cautious.
Right.
But I still don't feel like I can trust what's there. And so when you get to a point in life where you're like, I don't trust you guys. I don't trust the food industries. I don't really trust the government. I don't trust the medical doctors that are supposed to be telling, like, I just don't trust anything. So that's a tough place to live. I'm like, it's frustrating and I know, other people probably are starting to feel this way if they're watching the podcast. Now they know things and they're like, sometimes ignorance is bliss, right? Mentally and emotionally, to like not know that your food causes all this or your environment is toxic, you can just go through life and, skip around and sing and whistle. But I find myself frustrated. So,
there's all these billionaires that are trying to get people to live forever.
No, thanks. I'll go to heaven.
Right on. But I mean, Jeff Bezos, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Larry Ellison, they're doing research on longevity.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Reversing aging and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yes. Yes. And let me tell you, if those guys are coming out with something, you should run the opposite direction. 150%. Like
180 degrees.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's I'm telling you, especially with any of them, I would not touch anything with a 10-foot pole that came from any one of them. So,
what do you want to talk about next? You want to do the
Well, you want to talk about the ultra processed food?
Sure.
Okay. So
that'll make you age fast.
What if brain fog, poor focus, anxiety, and even some cognitive decline aren't just aging or stress, but a direct reflection of what's happening inside the modern food supply? New research is strengthening the connection between ultra-processed foods and cognitive decline, brain inflammation, poor focus, dementia risk. The researchers found that diets high in ultra-processed foods were associated with measurable declines in cognitive performance and attention, even in individuals who otherwise appeared healthy. Don't worry, the CDC and the FDA are going to have to run many, many more tests and studies over the next 20 or 30 years to actually concede that any of that is true. which is not what's said there. That was my own commentary because that's what they say every single time, which is annoying. So they say that ultra-processed foods may impair attention and executive function, even in otherwise healthy adults. The challenge or the problem with this is I don't think anybody will know the difference. I think everyone is so inundated that they don't even know why they don't feel good. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many people do we start adjusting and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was supposed to feel like this.
Yeah.
Because our bodies are not being taken care of. We are inundated with toxins, terrible food, forever chemicals, fluoride, all of these things that we have been pushed on us for years. And now our health and the health of our children are taking such a hit. Now people are going, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was bad. I'm sorry. We've been giving that to you for the last 40, 50 years. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I know that's given you colon cancer. Yeah. Sorry about that. They're not doing anything about it. It's just now coming out. How long do you think it'll take them to remove these things out of our food?
Right.
They're not going to do it because they don't care.
You know, there's a substance in the blood called thiol. Serum thiol levels represent how fast your DNA repairs itself. So DNA oxidation or degradation leads to aging and cancer and disease, other diseases, just decline of the whole human body. So there was a study 20-some years ago where they measured serum thiol levels in different groups of people. So it said people with chronic diseases have the lowest levels of serum thiol. Now, I'm not saying low serum thiol causes the chronic disease, or whether being chronically ill lowers your serum thiol levels, which perpetuates the aging process. But then they said people who have generally healthy, their serum thiol was more than double theirs.
Right.
People who are under long-term chiropractic care, meaning longer than 6 months, had double the healthy people.
Wow.
Double the serum thiol levels than the healthy people.
That's
now,
amazing.
what they showed was originally when you start chiropractic care, your serum thiol levels dipped a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then around the 6-month mark of chiropractic, it started to go up, and then it stayed really high, which means chiropractic care actually reduces aging, slows down disease, and prevents cancer. Thank you very much.
And now all of you guys who aren't already getting adjusted somewhere are wondering why you haven't started. We're wondering the same thing. The other, besides brain fog, in the modern diets, just to let you know, they're saying, of course, there's a connection between ADHD and nutrition. We've been saying that for a long time. Overfed but undernourished populations.
You got to say that again, because that can go right over your head if you're not careful.
Overfed but undernourished populations. That's what we're dealing with in America.
Yeah, that's malnourished overeaters.
Right.
That's what we all are.
Well, and what did Oprah say? I don't eat because, or I'm not fat because I eat because I'm fat.
Yeah.
Oprah, that's idiotic.
I think our
Just gonna
9-year-old
tell you.
would disagree with that. Rightfully so. So would the 12-year-old and the 16-year-old. But I think even when they were 5 years old, they knew the difference between what leads to obesity versus what results from obesity.
I'm like, that's the opposite of personal responsibility.
Yeah, but people loved hearing it when she said it.
Well, yeah, because it put a lot of people off the hook, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I finally found out why I'm an overeater.
right.
It's because I'm overweight.
I mean, that's what the food industry wants you to think, right? It's not in your control, because what they've done is they've made all of these ultra processed foods so highly addictive
Yeah.
that like you can't even help yourself. So you
Right.
probably feel like you're eating because you're fat, not that you're fat because you're eating. It's an addiction that's been caused by the people who are trying to kill you, for the record, but only after they take all of your money. Because that's really what it's about. Take your money and kill you. So that's where we're at, people. So food addictions and engineered cravings. So it's not accidental. It's deliberate. Let's also remember, we've reported on this before, the people who own the food industries are the same people who owned the tobacco industry. right? Nobody knows addiction better than them. Gut-brain connection. These chemicals in these ultra-processed foods are impacting the gut-brain connection. Why does that matter? Where does our immune system start?
Yeah.
Starts in the gut, always. But what do?
And controlled by the nervous system, which is the brain. So
yes.
it's really, it's the most important thing.
Right. So not only is it important to make sure that the brain can communicate with the gut, right? Which, if you're getting adjusted regularly and making sure that that connection is established.
But you have to have the right environment in your gut to get the results that you want from that brain-gut communication.
Correct. So when we're taking, when we go to physicians that are constantly prescribing antibiotics for viral infections, and they prescribe the antibiotic as a just in case, I'm not saying that there may not be instances for that, but I can guarantee you it's not every single instance that needs to happen. So what then happens with the gut when we get rid of all the good bacteria? We have to rebuild that. And who's rebuilding it? The doctors aren't telling you to rebuild it. They're not telling you how important it is to rebuild the bacteria in the gut, that it's vastly important, and they just told you to wipe it out just in case. And by the way, that then can create recumbent infections. It's just such a mess.
You know, I wish sickness didn't have profit attached to it. I wish wellness had profit attached to it.
Yes.
I haven't figured this out, but how do you make healthcare based on wellness, where if someone gets sick, the doctor loses money, but if they get healthier, not like overcome a disease, not like you give them a pain pill, their pain goes away.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about. Truly healthy, using different biomarkers, relevant biomarkers, and going, all right, like the serum thiol that we just talked about, or I don't know, like hormonal health, but mitochondrial health, measuring melatonin in their tissues, whether they're deficient in that, because there's no other way to test it.
Right.
But if you could do these things, and then you had these longevity experts, instead of saying, let me find the chemical that reverses your aging, or so that, let me figure out a device that turns all your cells into stem cells. They literally, in this longevity article, talked about stem cell chaos.
Right.
Where like they're worried that they're just going to perpetuate cancer by making all the cells younger so they grow faster. Like, who's going to volunteer for that experiment? And but the problem is it's profit driven.
Yeah.
It's all profit driven. And how do we change it to results driven?
I mean, you'd have to flip the entire system on its head.
If you're my doctor and I make it to the age of 80 without heart disease, diabetes, or cancer,
you get a bonus.
You as my doctor make money.
Yeah.
By getting me there.
I think that's a great idea.
I don't know how to monetize that.
I don't either.
Because healthy people, unfortunately, they avoid the doctor like the plague, which I don't blame them. I mean, they come to chiropractors.
Well,
we got a lot of healthy patients.
I think the insurance companies would have to be involved in this because they're the ones taking the premiums, and then it doesn't get utilized. Like, how often do we go to the doctor?
I don't know when we ever went. When do we go?
We don't, right? Like, I take the kids once a year if I remember, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, we haven't had your well kid visit. Let's go let her see you're still well.
I do their sports physicals myself.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't need it. And for the record, our pediatrician is fine with that because they don't need anything. Like, she doesn't believe that they need to put something into their body to be healthy. So it's not like she's waiting for us to come in so she can prescribe something.
What does any pediatrician do on a well visit? They weigh the kid, they measure their height, and they talk to them. They go, okay, cognitively, you're where you're supposed to be.
Oh, I can tell you what they do now.
Your height is within certain percentile, your weight's certain percentile.
That's not the biggest conversation, my friend. The biggest conversation actually is around sex. Sorry. That's what pediatricians are talking to the kids about. As my favorite
sloth would say right now, disgusting.
Well, I wish I could tell you that it's something different, but they want the kids to fill out the survey, not the parent. They want to have a conversation with the kid without the parent there. I mean, I just had a friend go through this with their
Thank you,
with their
every
child.
pediatrician out there. Gosh, you are so valuable,
Like,
so useful, so helpful.
and that's why I won't introduce our kids to the major medical system like that. Thank goodness we have a pediatrician who doesn't want to have those conversations, doesn't feel a need to have that conversation. That a 12-year-old doesn't need to have a conversation about whether or not she prefers same-sex or opposite-sex partners, or talking about position. None of that is necessary to speak to with a child ever, and especially somebody who's not
I mean, the whole concept of pediatrics is antithesis to that whole thing. I mean, that's like you better be an adult.
Well,
before you.
Perhaps some of these physicians have had too many ultra-processed foods, and they are struggling with brain fog and other issues, and their brain function is not where it should be, and it's causing them to make some really poor decisions in how they're talking to kids. So to me, like, I don't think an adult other than a parent should be talking to kids about that stuff regardless.
Right. No teacher.
No.
No nurse.
No.
No nurse practitioner. No pediatrician.
Nope. So.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
But I mean, outside of that, what do they do on a well visit for a pediatrician?
Check vaccines.
Oh yeah. Did you have more shots?
Have you had
year?
your HPV virus vaccine? Have you had?
Wow. Like, you know, some guy on the street, off the street could do that. Mm-hmm. You get anybody off the street with no education, give them a little manual. Say, a well baby comes in,
ask these questions.
Check their weight and height, and then ask these questions and check off things or order these things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sadly, I don't think we talked about this before, but we had several friends that had babies recently. And one, I know we talked about one before, but another one, and this is a brand new parents, and they interviewed some pediatrician's office. They thought they had a great one because they wanted to spread stuff out. They didn't want to do certain things. They made informed decisions, and they wanted to have those respected and honored. Mm-hmm. And this pediatrician, and I told him, I said, I know they're going to tell you it's fine, but I'm going to tell you once they get you in there, it's going to be a very different conversation. So be prepared for it.
Oh yeah.
And sure enough, when they went in, it was a very different conversation, and they were made to feel like complete idiots. They were, and they didn't feel like that, but they tried to make them feel that way. Thank goodness they ended up, exiting that office, but it was a terrible experience, terrible. And I'm like, I don't know why they have forgotten that they work for the patient. We work for our patients. When I sit down after you've gone through recommendations with a patient, hey, this is your decision. Here's some options for you. If you want to do this, do it. And if you don't, it's okay. You have to live in your body.
Right.
I don't have to do that. I might feel that that's right for you. It's not my decision. So I have to detach myself from that outcome, no matter how much I want somebody to be healthy. Even if somebody doesn't want to be healthy, I can't make them.
Right. So what does a chiropractor do? What a chiropractor who sees kids, what do they do on a well kid visit? And what does a chiropractor do? I can tell you, we're going to look at the structure of their body. We're looking at their frame. What does a pediatrician really look at their structure? I mean, I know they make them bend, and if they have severe scoliosis, they'll see it, and if they don't, they don't. But if they do have scoliosis, what do? They monitor it.
Brace them.
Yeah, we make measurements. We check things. Now we check their nervous system. Do the pediatricians look at their coordination patterns? I watch them walk. I make them march. I make them skip. I make them jump. I have them crawl. I go, why is this not moving properly? Nerve communication between the brain and the body. And then what are we asking? We're looking at, hey, tell me about their sleep patterns. Do they have trouble falling asleep? Do they sleep a lot? Are they tired when they wake up in the morning? What are their food cravings? Do they check those things? Because do you know that if you crave sugar, you have a different level of stress in your body than if you crave fat and sugar versus when you crave salty foods? Like if a kid just wants to eat potato chips and and pretzels versus their craving is just mainly ice cream? I mean, do they know these things? Do they check those things? Do
They
they
don't
ask
check
about
those things.
energy levels? Do they talk about screen time and how much time they're spending watching TV versus a tablet or a phone?
You may have one or two that do, but like our pediatrician, she actually looks at, she asks them to perform certain tasks, to see if they're cognitively where they should be.
She's a good doctor.
She is. I think she spends a good like 20 to 30 minutes with each kid, whenever we go. And that the whole time is her conversing with them, checking them and having conversations with them. And it's really nice. It feels like taking a step back in time, which we should be doing, I think.
She's also the one who drove to our house every time one of our kids was born.
It's true.
And checked the newborn in our house instead of us taking the baby to her office.
It was really nice. Very, very nice. Well, speaking of babies, there's a new article that came out about microplastics and fertility.
That's a big one.
Says for decades, we worried mostly about calories and fat content, while microplastic particles were quietly making their way into human organs, reproductive tissues, and even the brain. Researchers continue finding microplastics in reproductive tissues, semen, placentas, ovarian follicular fluid, and even brain tissue. Scientists are increasingly concerned about how chronic plastic exposure may affect fertility, hormone regulation, inflammation, and long-term neurologic health. While research is ongoing, of course it is, the consistency of findings across multiple organ systems is driving concern among researchers studying endocrine disruption and chronic disease. Are these the same people that told us we've been crazy for all these years?
That's the definition of crazy. Sign me up.
Yep. I told you, I don't even get to wear a tinfoil hat anymore because everything that I've always thought has been proven.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a couple things left. I'm waiting for those to come out. I'll share those with you when they're proven.
Yeah, infertility is a huge issue. I mean,
It's tremendous.
It is rampant.
You used to have one or two couples you may have heard about that struggled to have kids.
Right.
Never like this. It's like cancer.
It's
the
common.
same thing. Cancer was not what it is these days.
No, if someone had cancer, you basically were shocked. And the question they would always ask is, how'd you get it? No one asks now. Like, oh, you got cancer. Wow.
Let's get started.
I wonder when I'm going to get it. That's the other question. Never. Choose
We're not
not
gonna
to
do
get
it.
it. Boost your immune system, reduce inflammation, balance your blood sugar, and sleep. Done. No cancer.
And for those, by the way, that do, there are people that overcome it without.
Do those same things to overcome it. And I'm not saying don't get treatment, but make sure you're doing those things while you're getting treatment. And then watch our episodes, the 2 episodes on melatonin, episode 97 and 98 on melatonin.
It's huge.
If you have cancer, you've been diagnosed with cancer, watch those 2 episodes.
It says microplastics are no longer just an environmental issue. They are now a human tissue issue. I mean, let's just think about.
Why weren't they before? What was the issue before?
They're not just an environmental issue, right? It was plastics
it's not just affecting the animals and other species. It's affecting our own tissues.
Right.
Now.
So now we got to pay attention.
Huh.
It's just mind-boggling to me that no matter how much data comes out, like I said, what are we going to see change? We still are serving single-serving rice in plastic containers to put in the microwave to heat up, right? Our tea bags, sorry, tea drinkers, the amount of microplastics that you get in your tea when using tea bags, it's tremendous. You got to stop using those. We've removed all the healthy things.
These lids.
Oh yeah. Even the wax on that cup, the coating.
Yeah. You put
It's
a hot
terrible.
drink in there and
It all breaks down.
yeah.
Really, we
All right,
should.
I'm done.
We should be cautious. I mean, there's metal or there's plastic. It's hard plastic inside of our coffee mugs, our travel mugs.
Yeah.
Really, we should be drinking out of copper cups.
Right.
Copper is like so healthy for
Or
us.
you make sure you support your liver properly so it detoxifies you, because things are going to go in whether you try to prevent it or not.
Right.
You can't prevent toxins to entering into your body. You just can't. It's going to get in there somehow. You're either going to breathe it or put it on your skin.
But there are things that you can take that will grab those toxins.
Right.
Microplastic, heavy metals. Heavy metals are
Cilantro.
a huge problem.
Cilantro reduces heavy metals from your body.
Charcoal. Not the kind you put in the grill.
There's a book by Josh Axe called Eat Dirt.
Yeah.
He's talking about charcoal. How charcoal really binds to the nasty stuff and excretes, comes out of your body.
Yep. So, and there's, some of my tinfoil hat friends.
You got friends like that?
Oh, yeah. I do.
How do they refer to you?
The queen of the tinfoil hat friend group. But there's conversations about it. Okay, if it was knowingly done, right? Like all these things were added into our foods. They're spraying. They're doing all sorts of stuff. People are finding heavy metals all over the place, getting into our water supply, food supply. It's just everywhere. So then, what happens because we know frequencies impact the body, right? So what happens when you put something in a microwave that has metal in it?
It sparks.
Okay. It's a specific frequency that's being used. So as frequencies change and increase in our everyday use, that can have a different impact on the body because of the amount of chemicals and metals, heavy metals that are in our bodies. We need to be detoxifying that regularly. And then don't get me started on parasites. That's not in our grouping today. But there is another fun thing that we haven't talked about in a while. Fungi or fungus.
Nice.
That is kind of fun, isn't it?
I saw how you did that.
You saw that, huh?
That was good.
Everyone's talking about superbugs, but almost nobody is talking about the rise of super fungi.
Super fungi. Does he have a cape?
I did have this image, just as I said it, of this really great guy who is just a lot of fun. And he comes running out, and his name is Super Fungi. Some of the research believe that fungal resistance may become one of the next major healthcare crises.
Wow.
Like we don't have enough as it is. So we have an overuse of antibiotics, which is now creating antibiotic-resistant bacterias and illnesses.
If you guys have chronic sinus infections and you're on antibiotics twice a year, every year, and it keeps coming back and you have that congestion, it's not a bacterial issue and antibiotics are not going to solve it. It's either fungus or yeast. You can have yeast in your sinuses and you can have fungus in your sinuses, and those don't get killed by antibiotics. Antifungal drugs are extremely toxic to your liver, but you can rinse your sinuses with colloidal silver and clean them out. And you do that for twice a day for 10 days, you may be able to get rid of the yeast and the fungus in your sinuses.
Mm-hmm. I love that stuff. Not the fungus.
But silver.
The colloidal silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff. You can use it on so many things.
Yeah, I spray it in my throat. I rinse my sinuses with it.
Spray it on scrapes. I've sprayed it in the eye.
Yeah, bacteria cannot live in colloidal silver. It's an inert substance.
So cases of the drug-resistant fungus Candida auris continue rising in hospitals and long-term care facilities across the United States. Health officials are concerned because the fungus is difficult to kill, resistant to multiple antifungal medications, and capable of spreading rapidly in healthcare settings. I wonder if it has to do with the cleaners that they use that then cause the strains to mutate. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The organism has become a symbol of a larger issue: antimicrobial resistance and immune vulnerability in modern healthcare environments. Yeah. I mean, you have a setting like a nursing home where no one ever gets out. And there are people coming and going. They're bringing all sorts of things that these people who are really in this, they're in this closed environment all the time. I don't know. It just seems like it would be a breeding ground for a lot of things. A couple things we need to know. Drug-resistant fungal infections are increasing. Candida auris spreads easily in healthcare facilities. It's difficult to eliminate from surfaces and equipment. Often affects already vulnerable patients and raises concerns about antimicrobial overuse. So I think we gotta watch those things. But I feel like this was all a little bit depressing today.
I got more depressing news here. Did you hear about Marty McCary?
Yeah.
He resigned.
Not everybody knows who Marty McCary is.
Well, we did an episode on him. So he was the FDA commissioner. He was appointed by President Trump. And he actually agreed with a lot of things. We used to make we criticized the FDA nonstop until he became commissioner. And then all of a sudden, we saw some really good policies come out of the FDA. And we said, well, maybe things are changing. But they put so much pressure on the guy, he actually resigned. So this was due to mounting internal political pressure. McCary opposed the administration's approval of flavored vaping products because of concerns. I agree, because of concerns about youth appeal. He didn't want the kids vaping, is what he's saying. And he said there's nicotine addiction in the youth, and he didn't want that. He said we should not approve flavored vaping for kids.
Yeah.
Sources close to the situation claim he ultimately resigned because he could not support the decision in good conscience. Well, in a way, I say good for him, but where does that leave us?
No.
We're back to an FDA that we get to make fun of every single episode. So get ready.
Yeah, we were losing some content, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, they portrayed McCary as a controversial reformer who simultaneously angered pharmaceutical companies, which I want the FDA to anger the pharmaceutical companies. It's their job. Biotech investors, again, these are profit people who don't care about people's health.
No, but they do put a lot of money into political parties.
The other group he angered is the anti-abortion activists, because he was against the the pill that people were selling online, the abortion pill. Tobacco executives were not happy with him, and parts of the public health establishment. He was criticized by some for allegedly accommodating anti-vaccine narratives and reopening access to unproven peptide therapies. I mean, these peptide therapies have been pretty phenomenal. He goes, while also frustrating biotech companies by rejecting certain drug approvals over insufficient evidence. He's like, I'm not going to approve your drug because you don't have enough evidence that it's effective or safe. And they're getting mad. So all of them are going, you need to resign.
And I say, please stand strong.
All he's done is try to protect the public. Says the FDA, they painted FDA as an agency caught in political crossfire between scientific rigor, industry lobbying, public health pressures, populist Make America Healthy Again politics, and White House influence. McCary's departure is framed less as a simple resignation and more as a collision between competing power centers inside American healthcare regulation. This is very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. This just happened, I believe, 2 days ago is when he resigned. Anyways.
Well, just
one
know,
depressing piece of news after another. Good luck.
Yeah, but
watch a different podcast after this.
I know, right? We just report on the news. We didn't create it. But let's leave everyone on this. I want to come back to, you said it very quickly, but all of these things that we're talking about today can be negated in most cases if you are being cautious and you're building your immune system and you're doing the hard thing, which is saying no to certain things that you already know are going to create a toxic load on your body, right? Or on your kids' bodies. I mean, I'm getting ready to, even the whole toothpaste is just driving me nuts. There is just so much toxicity every time we turn around. Go on YouTube and look at what the Amish are doing. Look at what the food should look like. Go to the Amish and get your food there. At least there's a level of safety. We have 2 Amish markets close to Frederick. One is in Germantown, one is in Hagerstown. They're usually open Thursday through Saturday. So go on over, get yourself some fresh fruits and vegetables. Stay away from the stuff at the grocery store as much as possible.
Homemade cheeses,
mayonnaise,
eggs.
not hard to make. Bread, not not hard to make. What you see in the stores is not real bread. It's not real bread.
They took iodine out of bread in the 1950s. Did you know that? If they put iodine back in bread, IQ would go up by 10 points in every person on average.
Well, that's not what they want.
No, but you know what they replaced
Smart
it
people
with?
overthrow governments.
They replaced it with bromide, which is toxic like
Yes.
fluoride.
Yes.
Well, why would you remove iodine? Iodine is what people who have enough iodine don't get breast cancer.
Yeah.
And they stay smart and their thyroids work better.
Correct. But they don't want smart, healthy people. Smart, healthy people do not create money for these groups.
It bothers me because
It bothers me too.
I just have trouble believing that people sat around the table and said, hey, everybody, let's remove iodine and put bromide in because we can make everybody really sick. I just can't see that. I wonder if they were like,
can.
hey, this might save money or bromide's just as good as iodine. Let's try it and see how it goes. And then when they see it is a disaster, go back to it.
But you can't use these. These are chemicals that are used in manufacturing. And not manufacturing of food. Do you know what I mean? Like there's this guy on YouTube that he's like, let's make chewing gum at home. We're going to use the same products and chemicals, the same ingredients they're using. So what's he do? He goes and gets a big old tire and brings it and puts it on his countertop and starts cutting a piece of tire because that's made of the same material that chewing gum is made out of. And then he gets some of the other chemicals and he legitimately makes the same base chewing gum as what you buy in the store. Like, go watch it. I send it to the kids and stuff all the time. I'm like, this is what you're asking me to purchase for you. This is what you're asking me to put in your body. I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to do it. It's so I truly believe if you start looking at, this is where I get to put my tinfoil hat back on. If you start looking at the agendas worldwide, they're not looking to increase population, people. It's decrease population. Don't own anything. They are not trying to make us healthy and keep us alive. That's not the goal. It's never been the goal. So
we're gonna fight it. That's why we do what we do, right? That's
right.
why we're here.
That's right.
So if you want to join the mission,
sound the alarm.
let's first off, protect your family, take care of them, protect yourself. Your family needs you at your best. That's number one. So you take care of your health, then you set the example and suggest it to others. And if you find it in your heart, then subscribe to our channel and share our podcast with as many people as you'd like. We're grateful for you just being here and watching. We get great comments when people just come into the office as patients. They're like, "Hey, I love your podcast," which is really cool. We love hearing that. It warms
really
our hearts.
fun. Thank you.
I'd love to be able to impact more people, but you know, if it's one person, it's worth it. So we're grateful and thank you for joining us. God bless you. Keep up the good work, and we'll tune in again next week.
See you next time.
Live radio, local podcasts, the Frederick Podcast Network at listenfrederick.com.